watching Japan Business Today. Changes are coming to the Osaka Stock Exchange, and some of them aren't to everyone's liking. Exchange officials say they're not pleased by a new government plan to shift stock index futures trading to an average not directly related to the Nikkei 225. But they say they won't fight the government's demands. Gary Tegler reports from Osaka.
Behind closed doors at the Osaka Securities Exchange, the details of a new futures index mandated by the Finance Ministry are being hammered out. The new index will eventually replace the Nikkei 225. It is a task unprecedented in the history of Japan's markets, swapping indexes in midstream in a move to stimulate a market racked by a loss of investor confidence. It is a series of meetings the Osaka Exchange wished it didn't have to hold.
It is a difficult job to have to start a new index in a market that is very active. We had been saying we should not change the index, but the Finance Ministry has agreed to listen to people related to the issue. We have changed our mind and will help come up with a new futures product.
The two indexes in a delicate balancing act will be offered concurrently until the market accepts the new weighted average. Though the Finance Ministry has stated it would like to see the new index introduced within a year, exchange officials would prefer the beginning of 1994. Traders want other concessions from the government.
There are many rules governing the futures market. For example, the amount of money required up front for futures transactions was recently raised. We'd like to know what the government is going to do about these controls. People who deal in the futures market believe it is better to have no controls.
Controls is a key issue for the exchange and for most trading firms. They have seen business in the 225 siphoned off to the CIMEX in Singapore, where the index is less regulated and trading will continue for at least another 3 years.
There are some aspects of trading in the 225 which are difficult for average investors to take part in because there are too many controls. Unless it is made clear that there will be fewer controls on the new index, it won't become popular.
This broker was heard telling someone that people are staying away from the 225 at the moment. That kind of talk seems indicative of the psychological effect the uncertainty has had on investors, who question the need for the new index when active trading in the Nikkei 225 has made Osaka the second largest futures market in the world. To maintain its position as the primary futures market in Japan, officials here have said they will offer the new index at costs lower than in Tokyo, but will not push it until it is well established. Success may depend on how good a public relations job the Finance Ministry and securities firms do in getting small and medium-sized investors to re-enter the market, a prospect not brightened by projections of a prolonged economic downturn in '93. Gary Tegler for Japan Business Today, Osaka.